Hello, everyone. Welcome back to episode 4 of the Hersey Hoops podcast. I'm Connor Krebs, alongside me, my co-host Jake Cohen, and of course, the head coach of the men's basketball team here at Hersey, Coach Scott, and his special guest, Max Menninga. Well, stuttered there a little bit. Hi, guys. Welcome.
What's going on?
Season 4, episode 4.
Yeah.
This is generally over the course of a well-produced series when things really start to hit their stride.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Wednesday mornings are always my favorite.
Nice little
Is that why I
holiday.
didn't- Is that why I didn't go first?
Happiness Project.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
First, before we get started, I'd like to shout out the entire fashion sense in this room today.
Yeah.
You got the
That's
Happiness
true.
Project Christmas sweater, the Tyler Matthew
I
Hersey
love the
Brown
Tyler
golf
Matthew
pullover, and then this
It's
Is it
nice.
Lululemon?
quilted
It's
hoodie
very
we
nice.
got from
I like it.
Max. It's like
It's cold out.
It is
fresh
cold.
out of the GQ magazine.
So,
You know, I
And
feel
then
like
you
I'm
got
in-
the FootJoy little
Yeah.
Hersey hoops
This
thing.
is, part basketball talk, part, fashion
statement.
design.
default Austin Scott uniform right here.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, kinda. All right. First segment of the day, Slide Thornton Sack of the Week.
Slide Thornton's Snack of the Week,
Dun-dun.
provided by Thornton's, or presented by Thornton's. Today we have, an interesting one, as always. I'll kind of go through my thought process on this. It's not a snack that I think necessarily you guys will all enjoy or that I enjoy. It's a snack that reminds me of our guests. And our guest this week is a very special guest, Max Menninga. I've known Max for a long time. Max has come quite a long distance in the 5 years I've known him. I was telling our freshman the other day, Max has become kind of the emotional leader of our team and calming us down and stuff like that. And that's not where Max has always been. I like to remind our freshmen that Max got a technical foul as a freshman for having an emotional outburst on the bench. And now, to see where he's at now, I'm very proud. And I know a lot of people are very proud with his development. But Max as a person is incredibly Socratic. And,
I don't know if I
That's
know
a
that
big
word.
word.
Can you
I
define-
use this for a
define?
specific reason,
You need to define
because
that.
Max is obviously a high-level student, a national merit commended scholar. 1570 SAT,
That's
Ooh.
crazy.
34 ACT,
Bro, what?
4.2 out of 4 GPA. Incredible statistics.
That's crazy.
But-
I didn't even know that.
Those who know Max knows that he questions everything. He questions everything all the time. There's nothing that Max learns that just like he trusts at face value. He has to learn through his own personal experience. He has to learn through it working for him and sometimes his preferred way not working for him. And in basketball, it's presented a unique push-pull between his coaches and him. And I think over the course of time, I've gotten to know Max and now fully understand and recognize that that's how he learns. And he's continuing to develop and grow and improve. I truly think that, Max is going to be a college basketball player, and when he's a senior in college, like approaching like his final games, his coach, whomever that will be, is going to be like, man, I wish I had him for another year. He's still getting better every time he plays. And that's because he's still understanding things. He's still challenging things Socratically and asking questions about what works and why they work. And the coach's relationship with Max is always a little bit of pull and peeling off new skills. Therefore,
Peeling
I
off.
see.
I see. And, it took me a while to get to know where he was going, but I
Yeah.
literally called the
I am a
Twizzler
huge
fan.
Twizzler fan. It is, on road trips, it's my mother's preferred gas station snack. She always goes with Twizzlers, but these are a special kind of Twizzlers for our guest, Maximilian Menninga, today.
Are they
They're the pull and peel
Oh, okay,
variety.
word.
Cherry.
In order to get Max to
yeah.
learn, in order to get Max to improve, right, you have to pull things out of him, and he's got to peel new skills out of himself.
Are we opening these up right now?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you gotta try them.
39
Open 'em up.
a.m.
Okay,
Candy.
it's the cherry variety.
All right.
They're all
And
cherry this time?
I want everybody to
pull
sometimes when you're pulling and peeling Twizzlers, sometimes they give a little bit more resistance
Oh my god.
And that's Max.
than you want.
This segment's going on way too
Sometimes they break off halfway.
Yeah, I was just
Cannot
about-
deal
And
with
sometimes
this.
it happens
You just go with the whole thing.
organically, right?
Oh
You ever
my
just-
god.
I'm still waiting for
But-
that Socratic definition. Personally,
Socratic is when you ask questions about everything. It's
Oh,
an
oh, yeah.
adjective that
Socratic
derives.
seminar. You know what that
Yeah,
is?
It's an
Yeah,
adjective
okay,
that
okay.
derives from Socrates, the Greek philosopher, who asked questions about his culture and about his society and about things that were widely accepted in the world that he lived in and was persecuted for it.
I'm really struggling to eat this right here.
But
Really
to be
giving-
Socratic
giving me a lot of
in
pull.
the 21st century is a
at that.
commendable skill.
I
Because
agree.
we should ask questions about what is taught to us and what we learn. Okay, and Max and I had a very interesting philosophical debate on charges before the game yesterday.
charges.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Max doesn't find charges to be a valuable part of basketball.
Let me tell you something, Max. Charges might be the most.
No,
That's how I feel,
No,
Connor.
he's taking it out of context. I didn't say they weren't valuable. I just said you have to be used in the right context. You throw out a charge just out of nowhere trying to impress coach and you fall down, don't get one. That's like free points for the other team because you're just on the ground, 5v4. And that's what I was saying. Taught skill. That's what charges are. Taking charges and knowing when to take charges is a taught skill. It's not a hustle play like you always like to describe it as. Because you can just go out there and try
I
and
now
take
see
a
this
million
push
charges.
pull.
This is a
And I agree with you.
Twizzler.
I
This
agree
is a
with you in
Twizzler if
theory.
I've ever seen one.
But charges are a momentum play, and I like to describe charges as the fork in the road between rotational positioning and courage. You know, and you need both in order to take an effective charge. And Connor's taken plenty of charges in his day. Michael Jasper, whenever you put him on the floor, is in the rotational right place, and he has the courage to do it. And it hurts every single time. So I sometimes like to challenge Max. I don't think he wants to fall down. Okay? Despite sometimes
well, actually,
how often he falls down during a basketball game. He doesn't like to fall down on
Whoa.
somebody else's
I'm a big
equipment.
charge
Come
guy,
on.
but I will agree that I've been caught times myself in that situation where I tried to take one, didn't work, but
And I was never coming from a place where I thought Max was wrong. I was just
Yeah.
trying to explain my point of view.
Oh my God, he's trying to be the better person after the fact. We was really getting into it, and you were telling me I was wrong. You were like, "No,
That is simply
no.
untrue.
this is my favorite. This
I don't think so.
Simply untrue.
love
But
this.
I think you guys see now firsthand knowledge of the pull and the peel
Yeah.
of one Max Menninga.
I had no idea where you were gonna take this
Yeah,
with
no, but
Max.
I love
I've
it.
been thinking like all week, what was Max? Well,
I like the
since we knew
Twister
it was
call.
gonna
You
be
guys-
him.
And these are really,
It's
good.
really
I
good.
think you guys
yeah.
are underestimating the amount of thought that I put into Slide Thornton's snack.
was-
of the
No,
week.
when I
By
saw you
Thornton.
yesterday in the hallway, you were still thinking
Yeah.
about it.
As soon as the podcast ends at 8:30 on Wednesday, I think about who our next guest is. I obviously don't tell them that they're the next guest. But then I start immediately conceptualizing their snack of the
Don't
week.
tell you.
Among the many other things that are going on in my brain,
I would honestly say Twizzlers, number one.
I think they're my
These
number
were just
one,
like
too.
no, just
Yeah.
because these were just like really good right now. I don't know what it was, but they tasted amazing. So
It's
I'll,
really good.
what else? Oh no, the gummies from last week, the Lifesavers were great. I had those in
I
class.
never had the
all
sour
day.
ones. You guys were
Jolly
talking about-
Rancher
Jolly
gummies.
Rancher. Yeah, sorry. My fault.
In
Jo-
homage to Michael Crafton,
Yeah,
the Jolly Rancher.
What was that? Is that his Thornton snack?
Do you wish you could go back and make Quinn a lemon head? Or
No.
like a red hot?
Quinn is cinnamon Mentos, man.
I
Bro,
like the
what?
cinnamon
He's
Mentos.
all
It
fire.
is, like-
He's all
okay.
fire and explosion.
Because I don't know who else is going to get that. Unless it's like Jared or something.
You guys,
The
don't,
shoe.
don't
All right,
question
all right,
the
for- we're not-
process.
we- we
Don't
won't do your
question the
job for
process.
you.
Let
All
it
right.
happen organically. You know, the
Yeah.
process is the
Okay.
reward. The journey is the reward in the Slide Thornton.
I'll
Snack
just
of the
sit
Week.
here and eat your snacks.
Every week we peel off a new layer of the onion that is our team. For our listeners.
The Twizzler.
That is our team. Look at that.
Okay.
Come on.
Now I want you to enjoy your snack, but I also want you to, you can't be chewing the whole time. You gotta answer
Well,
some
I'm
questions.
talking.
Okay.
I'm just, yeah. I'm here.
Okay. Let's
All
get
right.
into
Next
Week
question,
4,
baby.
snack of the week. Okay. Now we'll hop into some hoops questions.
Yep.
I love doing that.
Graphics.
Graphic. I love knowing that.
Graphics.
I love knowing.
Interludes.
I love knowing that when I watch this, it's just gonna be right there. Love knowing that.
Producer Co is
He's
on one.
He's on. He
I try.
he's good at his job. Let me tell you. Okay. Last Friday, Hersey played highly ranked Rolling Meadows team. What challenges did they pose, and how were they able to get that victory over us?
They're good. They're tall. They have a D1 Power 5 player, and Cam Christie. His brother's in the NBA. We all know this. Christie's been the family, been a well-known name in the MSL for a while. So, they're a tough team. They were top 10. I think they were 7th in the state when they played us. Tough team, had size, were physical, and I'm gonna be honest. Like, they played a very good game. Normally, sometimes when you're an underdog and you play against these big teams, they underestimate you, and you get a little chance to make it close. I gotta give props to them. They played their heart out. I mean, especially looking at their past track record, they were tied with a bunch of teams. I mean, we beat a half. And
Past track record? Do I know what that is?
like their previous schedule.
Oh,
they were tied at half with Maine South, tied at half with like a bunch of teams that were like, okay, they're not amazing.
It's a wonderful analysis. I agree with Max that they're very talented and very tall. I think there are a lot of elements that make Rolling Meadows a difficult and challenging opponent for our team. And I think the depth of their ways and ability to score is at the front of that. Obviously, Cam Christie's a phenomenal player and really skilled, makes some incredibly challenging shots where you're in the right place defensively and you close out and challenge it, and then he shoots over outstretched arms from 32 feet and it goes in, and tip your cap sometimes. That said, I think Mark Nikolic Wilson is one of the more skilled big men in the area. He passes really well. He did a great job on the boards against us. He had a double-double. And I think, we're still developing too, defensively and offensively. And defensive rebounding and our inability to limit them to one shot kind of hurt us in that game. But we're going to continue to get better with that. Which moves us into this week. In back-to-back games, we've had our highest defensive rebound percentage of the season against St. Viator, and then our lowest against Downers Grove North last night. So, we have to.
Yeah.
What my dad would always say is, you got to know where your bread is buttered, and I never really knew what that meant as a kid when he would say that. But now, you have to know the things that make you successful, right? And one of the things I told these guys after the game last night is winning teams know exactly why they win, and teams that lose can't seem to figure out why they lose sometimes. But if you know what helps you win, it helps you adjust in those areas accordingly.
Yeah, so you kind of already alluded to it. Saturday, Hersey went in and defeated St. Viator 58-50.
Hey, you're welcome, by the way.
Yeah, that was massive for me. I had so much fun in my
It had
group
nothing
chat.
to do with me and everything to do with them, but I know it was a huge bragging rights
I have a
game
lot
for
of friends
you.
at St. Viator, and
okay.
I was
It really
able-
put the pressure on
Yes.
us last week that we could not
right.
lose.
Thanks. I really appreciate it.
I'd like to tell you that in the fourth quarter of the game I was thinking about that, but must have slipped my mind.
It's okay. I mean, I'm sure it was in there somewhere.
Yeah, rattling around.
So, what helped you guys win? What did you guys find? Saw a lot of clips about the locker room. It looked amazing.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I feel we went a little overboard with the celebration, but hey, when you haven't beat a team in 10 years, it doesn't really matter what they look like as long as we beat them. End that streak. It's exciting. But in terms of your question, I'd say the things that helped us win were great, defensive rebound percentage. Limited our turnovers, got into our offense really well. Had a little stretch where they were scoring a lot, but mostly contained their offense, which was, just like two kids. So
Yeah, I think we got opportune post touches when we needed them in the fourth quarter when their defense was really vulnerable, and we got enough stops to win. And, to beat down 10 in the first quarter, it was 16-6, and then to take the lead 27-24 at halftime really showed some resolve in our group, and I was proud to see that. And, some guys stepped up and made some key plays down the stretch. Quinn Mullen had a big 3 when we were down 3. We had discussed in a timeout as teammates how much we believe in him to shoot that. And then, Jackson had some really key post touches and free throws down the stretch to help us secure the win. But, there's no way we win that game without Max Menninga's performance as well. So Max was 9 of 10 from the field. He had 3 offensive rebounds, all of which he scored on. Did a nice job from the free throw line, made that 3 at the end of the half. And I told him this directly after the game. I was proud of him for how he played. I was more proud of him, and am more proud of him every day for how he acted with his teammates. There's a great clip where the ball goes to Jackson in the post. They double Jackson. He passes to Max. It was the right idea. Pass goes off Max's hands. Both of them, are immediately disappointed. And then they come together, the two of them, and Max is like massaging his shoulders as they're walking back down the court. And I'm watching this on film, by myself on Saturday night and thinking to myself, like, this is exactly who I think everybody can be in the right frame of mind. Because the end result is, the play happened, they get a stop the next play, and then ultimately they come together and win the game, which is, in team sports, and basketball and football, I think, are like the ultimate team sports, right? You can't get stops alone. Against good teams, you cannot get scores alone. You can't do anything alone. So why operate alone, in terms of like transitioning from play to play? And I think that our guys did a really good job of showing how important the game was to them and winning that game was to them based on the way that they acted. Now, the way they acted after the game, we had some conversations about. I gave them deliberate instructions on what to do and what not to do. And
right after that, they
Max finds it funny. I don't find it very funny at all. But, like, real players don't act like that. And it will not happen again. That's a Hersey basketball guarantee. And there's not very many of those, but that will never happen again.
Something I wanted to say about the game before we move on to the next game. It was such an interesting game in the sense that I thought it was bouncing back and forth the whole time, and I like it. What was the lead at the end of the first quarter for Vider? They were up.
They were up 10 in the first quarter.
10,
I think it
or
was.
in the
I think
first.
it was
Okay.
6 at the end of the
Yeah.
first
Okay.
quarter.
No. Yeah. I just wanted to say it was a great way to fight back. And then heading into last night, you guys played Downers Grove North and lost 64-40. It was a really weird game for me. I was there and I didn't feel like you lost by 24, but they had a couple guys who shot big. What did they do on offense that made it hard for you guys on defense?
I'll start, I guess. We knew coming into that game they had some size. I mean, a 6'8" big man starting. They have like a top 10. Like, heard about that?
So we were doing this on the side. He's got drafted already, but you know how in baseball you like you get drafted when you're like 16 and you play 2 more years and then you are on. He's doing that.
Yeah,
for
so
the
they
Mets.
had this MLB drafted kid, 6'8", 265.
Huge.
I was talking
Pure
to Coach
muscle.
before the game. He actually reclassified. You know how people reclassify back? He reclassified up.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh, so
to go to the pros.
So he could
quickly.
play in the
So
MLB.
he's a 2024. He reclassed to our age,
Okay,
2023.
Give him a lot of credit for that.
yeah. Wow. That's.
I haven't
not
heard
a
of
small
that
man.
before.
I've only.
Did not look like a year
Yeah,
younger than
that's
me.
crazy.
So he's a junior, technically?
Yeah.
But he's playing as a senior. That's crazy.
Yeah. So anyway, like we were saying, they had some size, and we knew that. We knew they were going to try and they're a really fundamental team. That we knew they were going to try and play through the post and stuff, almost like us. I mean, they ran a lot of the same sets and stuff. I think we mostly contained that in the first half. The struggle came in the second half. They shot the ball really well. In particular, this one kid, 21, just really torched us in the transition. I mean, they were also, like I'd mentioned, really good transition team. Pushed the ball incredibly hard.
Every single time they passed the ball and the kid was down the floor in a second. It was
Right.
crazy. It was impressive to watch,
In
honestly.
great shape and
Yeah.
plays really hard. I
Yeah.
think Downers Grove North is 7-1 now. They lost their first game of the year and have won 7 games in a row, and are really talented, as Max mentioned. I think that team, and would you agree with me, Max, that they played harder than any team we've played all year?
Yeah, the sustained effort. I mean, you can play hard for a quarter or two and then just kind of relax, but they were 100% the entire game, and I think we felt that.
And such is the
definitely in second
competitive
half.
spirit of basketball.
And
right?
something else I wanted to say, their coach, he's some Hersey students.
So his name's Jim Thomas.
Yeah.
Basketball has the Jim Thomas Memorial Scholarship. So Jim Thomas, his uncle, graduated in 1978 from Hersey, was an all-conference player, and then went on to play at St. Norbert's in De Pere, Wisconsin, which is right next to Green Bay, and then tragically died in a car accident during his junior year, I believe, in college. So we have a basketball scholarship named after him. Dedicated to the player in our program every year that graduates, that kind of embodies our program principles most clearly. Like guys like Rogo and Jack Genualdi, Mark Gunther won in 1982, Brian Gregory, who's the coach of South Florida. It's a really esteemed honor, and so Jim Thomas, their coach's dad, Mike, is his brother.
Okay.
So Jim, the coach, is named after his uncle who passed away. So he wanted to come back, for his uncle, for his dad, kind of be back at Hersey. He's got a lot of Hersey ties in his family, but he's hard on those kids, man.
I was just about. So what I was
And
gonna
it's
say,
good because they respond to it.
So right when I was a little late in the first half, and right when I
noticed.
got there, okay.
Oh, wow.
He ran across the gym to help pick a kid up, and I've never been so confused in my life, and I don't know. I just wanted to talk about that because that was crazy. I've literally never seen that before, and that was knowing that he's related to Hersey in some way. I thought
And
I'd
when you watch their team,
exactly.
when they make mistakes, they all sprint to pick,
Yeah.
and it's not a lot of body language or moping. I was really impressed with Downers Grove North. Hot take, and I don't want to jinx them or anything, but I think that's a sectional championship team.
I think they're a very, very good basketball team, and I think they will continue to be a very, very. They were just like it was crazy. I really enjoyed watching
the
them
Purple
play
Trojans, man.
Another thing I want to say, their jerseys are sick. Like I love our jerseys, the brown, the white, the orange, but like theirs are sick. The purple. I like the purple. Do you not like the
Not a
purple?
purple guy.
I
Yeah,
like the purple.
there it
I like
is.
the purple. Honestly, I really do.
You're not gonna get anything with him with other people's.
You really
jerseys.
You like Prince? Do you enjoy Prince music?
I'm not even saying anything like that. I'm just saying.
just asking.
No, actually.
Purple Rain?
Yeah, no, actually, I just thought the jerseys themselves were kind of nice.
I was watching the freshman game and the same thing. Like all those kids they were all disciplined. Like even their freshman guys.
Yeah. I
Like
give their
our
program
freshman
a lot
team
of
won,
credit.
but
It's a great
still.
challenge for us.
Yeah.
No, fun game to watch. Okay, Menninga, these are some questions for you now. Do we have a
Fantastic.
I don't have one yet.
Yeah, it's kind of hard because it's a different person every week, so it's like. But yeah, these are your questions, so we'll have some fun with these.
Was this hot seat now?
No. These are
like basketball
These are more
questions.
basketball questions for Menninga.
Sure.
So Menninga, you had 22 points against St. Varda. I know we kind of already touched on this, leading the Huskies to victory. What were you seeing yourself that made it so easy for you to score?
Well, it was mostly my teammates were creating a lot of opportunities for me. We had a lot of post touches, kickouts on those, as well as offensive rebound opportunities gave me a lot of opportunity to score, just a lot of room to operate, right? So, playmaking, Jared was making good passes.
Yeah.
Obviously, we were getting where we wanted, and I was just fitting in the system and taking advantage of their success to build on top of that and help us win the game.
And then so going into the half, that second quarter, you guys battled a lot, and then right at the end of it, hit a nice little shot there, Max. How cool was that for you?
Yeah, it was all right. Jared, I'm going to be honest with him. He usually likes to hold the ball. I was a little surprised he passed it to me. I thought his half-court shot was going to be the highlight of the second quarter, but, he passed it to me. I wanted to make good on that decision of his because I know it was a tough one for him. I wanted to reward that way of thinking, and so.
Guys, coming from, my experience as a player, somebody who shot the ball a lot, and Max is always quick to remind me that he wouldn't want to be my teammate because I shoot too much. Guards are always more inclined to pass the ball when they know a guy's working at capacity, and I think that was, I can't speak for Jared, but sometimes, when someone has a really good half effort-wise, they're more inclined to give him a chance to hit a three, to go up three at halftime, and I applaud Max for taking advantage of that opportunity.
Yeah.
So not only did you lead scoring in the Vire game, but from the statistics I've seen, you lead scoring in points per game as well as rebounds per game.
Is that a backhanded?
No, I was just because that doesn't count the Downers Grove game. Those weren't included, so I don't know if anything changed.
Okay.
So I'm just
Talk
saying.
to Armstrong about that.
Yeah, I mean that's on him. Obviously on him. So what have you done this year to make huge strides in your game, and what have you noticed change over that period the most for you?
I mean, we've all gotten better because obviously last year we had a down season, but the big thing I always tell people when they ask, "Oh, are you guys going to be good this year?" I'm like, "Well, we got everybody coming back, or most of us coming back." So I think that's a big deal. Varsity experience, I feel like, is one of the most important aspects in a person's game because there's just nothing like the speed of varsity basketball, and you have to get used to the offensive pace and the defensive pace, and if you can't do both of those simultaneously, you cannot stay out on the court. So I got a taste of it last year, and when I knew what it was like this offseason, me and the boys, we were getting ready. We didn't want to feel the same way we did last year with our downish season, so we just got to work because we knew what we were working for, and we knew what shape we had to be in, and we knew what play level we needed to play at. So I think that helped over the offseason.
And I think, looking at it through 11 games, obviously we have a huge weekend coming up with Wheeling and Lake Zurich, two teams that will be incredibly challenging for us, and two games that I anticipate being very close. But we're 6-5. Our 5 losses have all come to teams with 2 losses or less. So Rolling Meadows has 1 loss, Downers Grove North has 1 loss. So the combined record of the teams that we've lost to right now is 34-8. Now, that said, it also comes I think we could have competed a little bit more closely with the teams that we've lost to, but it presents a nice challenge for us and a nice perspective that if we want to get to where our goals are set, it's going to have to be through one of those teams that's really talented. Yep. And we have to be, disciplined and organized and together, most importantly, in order to do that. So this week presents a nice challenge to that. And then after that, the Peak and Holiday Tournament.
First one, 3 years on varsity, never been.
Yeah, well, the COVID season canceled the tournament. And then last year, unfortunately, I was sick, so we couldn't attend. So Pekin's always a great experience. A unique area, an awesome gym, and great competition make the Pekin Holiday Tournament worth remembering every year. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, and then so Max, recently the Orange Crush has been pretty big in other student sections. Do you think it affects your game or just the game in general?
Oof. Yeah, I mean, another thing, I was saying, the speed and the pace of varsity basketball is one thing. The atmosphere is another. Student sections in general are, on both sides, definitely affect the game. I notice a difference when there's an empty gym versus a full gym. But I try not to let it bother me. I understand that, I'm appreciative of all the support you guys bring with the Orange Crush. I mean, got a lot of good turnout, a lot of games this year, which we couldn't be more happy with. At the same time, there's a point where you got to lock in. You can't really focus on that. You know what I mean? You got to drown all that out because it's both sides. If you're listening to the Orange Crush, you're listening to the other teams, student sections. So
Can I make an Orange Crush?
I would
PSA?
love to. Because I know exactly what you're going to say.
boy.
So first of all, I love the Orange Crush. And as Max mentioned, we're tremendously thankful to have that student following. However,
However,
and I never really hear anything at St. Vider. You guys were directly behind our bench, so it was hard not to hear. So up 8 with 45
there
seconds
was
left.
less.
Who started the chant, by the way?
Listen, let me fully set the context. Up 8 with 45 seconds left. Okay, I think you guys chanted "This game's over."
Okay. What I remember is
Being an avid college basketball fan.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know how quickly games can change.
I'm well aware. So
That's 3 possessions.
yes.
Okay.
But we did. Okay, so this is what my only defense to you would be, because we shared it, and when you text, I won't do it again. You told me not. I won't. But I wanted to say we did it. So last minute, we were like, dang, it's like been a close game the whole time, so we didn't really chant that much. So we're like, all right, well, we have like 4 or 5 chants that we want to do in the last like 45 seconds of this basketball game. So I just started cranking them out at every single stoppage. So like, I could have waited on it, and that is definitely my fault.
I appreciated your response. So I texted Krebs. I go, hey, a little early for this game's over. Like, anything can happen.
Yeah.
He goes, I believe in you, coach.
Yeah.
I'm confident in.
I'm like, I believe in you too, Connor, to make the right decision.
Yeah,
when to
and
chant.
we won't do that one anymore. But yeah.
I appreciate your energy.
Yeah,
your
we were there. We
enthusiasm.
were definitely there for the Vider game. Well, okay, and also once they started talking back to us from across the gym, that's when things started to get feisty.
Yeah,
I was
that's
actually
personal.
worried for after the game, but it was all right. No, nothing happened.
Yeah. We got out all right.
Yeah,
I'm proud of you guys.
yeah,
No,
it
no
was
troubles.
great. All right,
That was really fun, by the
it was
way.
it was
That
just a fun game to be a part of. Yeah,
very
to be
fun
honest,
game.
great. I had a great time. That was a good game. Yeah,
That's
last
what we're here for, sir. But
yeah,
it's fun.
it is true. Sure, basketball's fun.
I mean, you serve the fans, no?
Yeah.
Like,
Because-
obviously, you want to have a good
Customer
team.
ser-
This
every
isn't the
industry is a
NBA.
customer service industry.
Yeah.
All right.
Final segment of the day, hot seat.
Flames.
I love the graphics, Max. I just love
I
it.
am
graphic.
interested in these answers.
I-
I am
so,
fully invested in listening.
When
right
he
now.
was talking using big words, I was like, well, now I know who my president is. So I'm
we
gonna
talked
lead.
about this last week.
Yeah,
how he'd be a
I'm,
good president.
I'm gonna lead on this one. Who on the team would make the best president?
Wow.
This comes from
so
somebody who's interested in politics too. So think about
Oh,
political
really?
Whoa.
opinions.
What gave you that?
I could.
impression?
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I could totally see you as a politician, like 100%.
Why don't you just give us your answer?
Why don't you just explain
Let's hear
what
it.
you mean by that?
Yeah, I'm actually.
I
curious
think
too.
you have a more nuanced and deep understanding of politics than other players. You know, politics at its core is who gets what, when, and how, right? So, you know, I think you have an intelligent insight into effective decisions for that. So I'd like to hear your answer.
I guess it's hard to judge because I don't really know the decision making of every person on the team, like psychic level. But I'd say that the best person, like the person I could see, up there on a podium. I think you guys are gonna be surprised by this answer, but I could see Charlie Schiffman.
That's
him
not
up
a
there.
surprise
That's
at
what
all.
we got last week.
Oh, really?
That's what we got last week. Yeah. So
Yeah, real,
Charlie checks a lot of boxes.
real
Charlie,
charismatic.
yeah.
Who
he
was the
definitely
president?
is.
Kennedy.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
He's a Kennedy.
He's a Kennedy.
He's a Kennedy.
And like honestly,
incredible hair.
Yeah.
Award-winning smile, charming,
He's a Kennedy.
personable.
golden retriever kind of dog. Like that's that. When you say dog about someone, like the thing you were talking about with the
X-ray.
X-ray with the
Yeah.
dogs in it.
He's a golden
Charlie's
retriever.
would just be golden retrievers in there, not like wolves, but like golden retrievers.
Interesting.
I mean, Charlie, in my opinion, would
What
be
would
the
you say
definition.
Max is? What is Max's dog?
See, I'm like not trying.
This got to be its own hot seat question.
Yeah, this is. I guess so. I'm actually probably gonna add it. What kind of dog are you?
What dog are you?
What dog would you think Max would be?
Max?
I don't know dog breeds like this, so I'm trying to figure out.
Maybe like a little
It was
lab.
funny.
Smart.
A
I feel
like
friend of
you
mine
need a
from
dog
high
person.
school, with our fantasy football league that we've done from high school, he did this dog comparison once. And you want to know what mine was?
What?
He said I was a firehouse Dalmatian who wanted to be a cat.
Okay.
What?
And I don't know why,
What?
Yeah.
but he had this whole elaborate write-up. But he said I was a firehouse Dalmatian.
It definitely
who wanted to
stuck
be a
with
cat.
you.
Okay, so now that you said lab, though, the hunting lab, the super smart hunting labs that you release them and they go and they get it and they get the duck and come back. Honestly, that
Like a
just that,
bloodhound.
but not just because this. I don't know.
Like where the red fern grows type of dog? Or
Yeah,
no?
I don't really know where I'm going
That
with
goes
that.
and retrieves the fish.
Yeah, but not in because you're obedient or anything. I'm just saying because I feel like the smartness level there it's got to be there for that dog.
Yeah.
And I feel like
Yeah.
Like, I love your guys' relationship just because the words that are coming out right now, like
Socratic.
half of them, like I'm just like, wow, they're just. So I would love to know what it's like in the locker room. Basically, it's just.
I think you're getting a good sense of it.
Yeah, I think I am as well, and I love it.
All right, Max. What is one meal that you can cook? Like, what's your go-to meal?
Maybe something with some Canadian flair.
No.
Okay.
What is that? Is
You've
this
been waiting to
with-
say that.
something with maple syrup on it. Like
I love.
I can
Maples.
make pancakes and waffles. My favorite meal to make is I think you're gonna be surprised by this, spaghetti carbonara.
So good.
Real
Yes.
good. Some eggs, some bacon, some.
Why? What?
Eggs and carbonara?
Yeah. What? What?
Oh,
you never
I've
eaten
never had it.
spaghetti
Maybe I got to come
Just-
over to the Menningas for dinner.
Yeah. Great.
All
Great
right,
stuff.
sure, yeah.
If you've ever been to Italy, that's how they do it out there.
I have been to Italy.
Have you had it? Because that's how they do it out there. And let me tell you, it's amazing. Favorite food, honestly.
real good.
Yeah. Okay. There's nothing else to add. All right. Cool. Guilty music pleasure.
Oh, this is going to be so good.
Do you know the answer?
No.
Oh.
Dude, this is tough.
Yeah.
I
That's why it's called the hot seat.
I don't even know if I can name.
It's not a
what-
cool throne. It's a hot seat, man.
True.
gotta be quick these answers.
That's
I
a
always get so
close-
upset.
That quote should go on the bottom.
Yeah, we could put that.
Under it.
I get-
This isn't like the car where you get the air conditioning cooling seat. It's a
Yeah,
hot
I
seat,
know. I
man.
understand that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Answer the question.
Yeah.
I'm trying. I'm gonna be honest. When I see these types of questions, I don't like how people stall, but I'm doing the same exact thing because it's so hard to think. I'd say probably. I've been a big EDM guy since I
Oh,
was
love.
in Patton, like back in elementary school. I used to listen to like dubstep and
You
stuff.
listened to dubstep at Patton?
As a little kid, I'd listen to it.
Honestly, I could see how
Like
that could just
Skrillex?
like.
Yeah, a little bit.
I could honestly see how as like a little kid that could be like.
I liked listening to EDM
I'm
little
big.
kid.
I'm big EDM.
I
guy
just like the
myself.
sounds. Just
You can.
singing.
Yeah, you
just
can.
like-
You can ask almost
it.
anyone.
I respect
Yeah.
originality.
I love big.
And like
EDM
the
guy.
little graphics they do, like to the music, it's like pulsing.
Yeah,
I
it
don't know,
is.
That's
It's pretty interesting.
It's pretty fun to
Wouldn't know.
watch.
Yeah.
All right, next question. Max, who's your celebrity crush?
Waiting for this one, but I don't have an answer either. So give me a second. Think about my favorite movies. Everyone says probably like Margot Robbie or like Megan Fox.
Megan
I'd-
Fox is a good
Maybe those are some good ones. But have you ever seen Good Will Hunting?
Yes.
I am very immersed with the.
Minnie Driver
I don't know her name. Just
with the British accent.
yeah.
Minnie Driver. That's Minnie
Sure,
Driver.
yeah.
Good Will Hunting's one of my favorite movies
I
of all
love
time.
It's in your
Love
classroom. I
Good Will.
love that movie.
Yeah.
Love Good Will Hunting. Really
Driver.
good.
Yeah, she's.
It's interesting. I always thought she would like that was like the only flaw of the movie is that she was poorly cast.
She's
Really?
She's
Yeah.
the one that they fight over at the bar, right? I'm just like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, then I right.
And she like
Yes.
puts her
Yes,
number
yes.
up in the window.
Yeah.
I got a number.
Yeah.
How you like them apples?
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about
My
now.
boy's wicked smart.
Yeah.
This Menninga guy.
I love that.
Hey.
See, that's a good impression. Do you do impressions?
No, not really.
How many times do you think you've seen that movie?
150.
Yeah, that's. I've
It's
seen
one of
that.
those movies, and everybody has these where if they're on TV, you watch the whole thing.
Yeah,
Right,
that's.
yeah.
I would agree
Good
with that.
movie,
That and the prison. Oh, my-
Shawshank.
Shawshank. Yeah, I literally just blanked.
My
on it, but I
favorite
love
scene in that movie,
Shawshank.
though, and I know we're getting long here, but my favorite scene in that movie is when Robin Williams is telling him the story about how he met his wife,
Yeah.
and then he's doing the Pudge Fisk home run, and then he tells the story like he slid his ticket across the table. He's like, "Sorry guys, had to see about a girl," and then
Yeah.
Will Hunting laughs at him. He's like, "What?
Yeah.
Your friends let you do that?" He's like, "Yeah, they saw the look in my eyes. I knew I was serious." Then he steals his line at the end.
Yeah.
Goddamn, stole my line.
Is it me? Yeah.
Yeah,
is.
it's you.
This new question. I think. Who is one person who never fails to make you laugh?
I wanted to put this in just for Max.
Yeah.
Just for me?
Because I know you got a lot of goofy friends.
Wow. I feel like I don't want to pick and choose. But
You can go with more than
Like
one.
never fails.
never fails.
Not once.
Someone who, if they need to get a laugh out of you, they can. I like that question, Colin. That's a good one.
I had to throw it.
Yeah.
If
I like
somebody could get a laugh out of me on demand, it'd probably be Michael Siemens.
Wow.
And honestly, it's not anything he does really. I just look at the kid. And
Yeah,
I
it's.
just,
I
just his
can't-
existence makes me chuckle a little bit.
So they're actually on the same HYBA team. My answer to that question would be Evan Nomowitz, just because watching him like in that aspect, and they're on the same HYBA team.
Oh,
Speaking of
Yeah,
HYBA,
we'll get a report
I'll
later.
get a
Also,
report.
Actually, I have one more person I want to mention, Will Nolan.
oh my yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure maybe his name has been mentioned on this podcast.
Yeah.
I want to shout him out really quickly as a basketball player. This kid is actually the funniest kid. Whenever he opens his mouth, it's just comedy gold. And he doesn't open it much, but it's quality when it does.
Big whale. What are you gonna do?
All right, Max. What's your dream job? You know, you're super smart, so
President.
better have a great answer.
Let's see, this is interesting. I heard about this. I was at a camp at a university, and the head coach said every year they have a couple NBA teams reach out to him to talk about analytics jobs in the NBA, which I think could be really interesting because, I mean, I like math, I like basketball a lot, and I like I wouldn't say coaching, but just watching and you know, dissecting the game and understanding people's decisions. And I think that a mix of those passions in my job would be ideal. And I'm sure you probably get paid a decent amount, which also is very important. But
That's great. Okay,
yeah,
that's
That's a great answer.
Yeah,
I'd
I
say-
love watching basketball.
I do too.
Like
I'm a big watcher.
It
I
is your
watched,
job.
this will bleed into my shout-outs, but the Big Ten leading Wisconsin Badgers. Have you watched any of the Big Ten leading Wisconsin Badgers, Connor?
I've watched a lot of Big Ten.
2-0, they beat Iowa on the road, Maryland at home. I love just watching a game in complete silence. Nobody likes to watch basketball with me because I rewind and to do that. It takes me
Oh,
like
so you rewind.
3 hours to watch the game.
Wow.
You know, and that's without commercials because I tape it and watch it on tape delay. But like, my wife will like be around for like 2 minutes. She'll be like, "This is nauseating. I'm gonna do something else." Nobody likes to do it with me, so I'm all by myself. You know, I don't like to talk. I watch the freshman game, and I don't say anything the whole time. I just like to watch the freshmen and think and analyze it, and you know, think about if I'm lucky enough to have my sons interested in basketball someday. I am going to watch and not say a word until they ask. I'm looking forward to that.
That's difficult. My parents said the same thing, and they talk every game. So
I know it's difficult.
Yeah.
But I've been to the other end.
I'd say I watch basketball, usually sports in general, in silence, except Indiana, because watching them just is so hard sometimes. So, yeah, I love watching
That's how it
Big
is as a
Ten.
diehard
Great
fan.
Big Ten basketball. Yeah, they're so good. Okay.
And now the best question.
My favorite question. My absolute favorite question. Max, what would a Max Menninga warning label read? So we started this question with Quinn, and he gave, I don't even
What was his
remember,
answer?
honestly. I don't even remember what he said, and I don't remember
We
what
said high
anyone's-
voltage, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it last week? Crafton
was
had a
one
good.
May
Mood
change
changes.
mood.
May change your
He's-
mood if
he's
you
so
would take a
optimistic.
Jolly Rancher.
Yeah. And
Jolly
then
Rancher.
Mike's was,
I don't even
so is this
I don't even remember, but it's just like one
is
of my.
this something I come up with on myself?
yeah,
or is
yeah,
this like
yeah,
a-
warning-
a
your
group
warning
consensus
No,
label.
this is
thing?
your warning label.
We're
my
buying Max
God.
Menninga at the store.
What's your
What
warning
does it
label?
say?
Maybe read the ingredients.
Yeah.
See, like side effects.
This is good. Well, common malfunctions a lot. There sometimes.
Just like what do you mean like what do you,
Experimental product right
Oh,
here.
okay.
I like
No, you
that.
can't
All right.
say
All right.
You're,
Hey.
you're a prototype.
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
you know, some people they're always consistently you can always consistently rely on. I'd say Crafton or Jasper, but for me, I feel like I've been improving this aspect of myself. But in the past, people have told me I tend to shut down. Every now and
Experimental
then.
product.
I like that.
I like that.
I
That's
like
a
that.
Great answer.
Very reflective.
Yeah,
And
and-
provides you an insight into Max's self-reflective mind, which is part of the reason why he's such an enjoyable person.
I think we've gotten a lot of good answers to this question, and that's
Yeah.
why I hope
This
it
has
can
been
be.
a very, very cerebral podcast.
Oh, so yeah, I love it because we're wrapping up here, and I just want to say this has been like the most I've had to like.
What a way to start your day.
Yeah, because I'm gonna be spinning for the next couple hours. Because like,
Are you going to math after this?
No,
We know how
thank
you feel
no,
about going to math
no,
after
I'm
this.
not. I'm going to gym, and
Ning 19 over there.
yeah, that's just.
Ning 19.
Yeah, that's a great answer. It's really all I have to say about it. Wrap up, shout outs. You can go first. Do you want me to go first? We have a couple. Do you want us to go first?
Yes, absolutely.
So we would like to shout out Katie Otto. Most threes in a game.
Yep.
Records.
That was
Love
awesome. And
records.
super cool
I
that
love
Megan-
records.
Romo
She was
was there
there.
to see it.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Another thing I wanted to say. It was a high five, but it was dope. Megan Rogo, grew up with her. My older brothers.
Legend.
Legend. I've
I
known
know,
Megan
like,
for a
you
long,
guys are
long
at the
time.
generation now where you never saw Megan Rogowski play.
I did.
Yeah. But you were little.
I was little.
man.
Yeah,
Like,
I was real little.
one of the best competitors, most fun to watch athletes in probably the history of Hersey. And the nicest
Oh yeah.
one.
Oh yeah.
Like, love Megan. Love the whole Rogowski family.
Facts.
And then we were gonna shout. We forgot it last week, but the brown jersey winner. I mean, he's sitting right
Well,
here.
here I am.
But
Let's
Yeah.
go.
Brown jersey, love that.
Do you
Yeah,
wanna-
I didn't get Mike
yeah.
next last week, but shout out Mike too.
shout out Mike.
Shout out Mike too. Orange Crush. Just cause I don't know. I feel obligated to throw that in there.
Yeah.
And yeah, shout outs for you guys.
I'd like to shout out the Big Ten leading Wisconsin Badgers, first of all. Other than that, I'd like to shout out our freshman B
cannot wait
team
for
for
that
being undefeated.
Oh,
Freshman A's, I believe, are 7-1. So the
Take
freshman
that.
team doing a really nice job. Sophomores are coming along. A lot of good things happening in our program. And then I'd like to wish everybody the best of luck on their final exams in finals week.
Nice.
I know it can be a stressful time, but also a rewarding time to be done with the semester. And there's nothing better than checking that grade and seeing it as a desirable outcome.
I'm
based
so
on
glad it's
Nothing
before
worse than
break.
the opposite.
Finals being before break is so amazing. Viters are after break, and
I
that
like
is
it.
horrible.
Oh my god.
Could you imagine being on break and
Yeah.
studying?
No. It's
That's
the
it, though.
worst.
I actually have one more before you go. I don't know if we'll have another podcast. I don't think we've talked about it. So in case we don't see you guys next week, Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry
happy
Christmas.
holidays.
All
Happy
right,
holidays.
yeah.
Happy holidays. I was feeling festive. I also had to wear this for another reason, but I was feeling festive today.
Okay.
So
I'm glad you remember.
yeah.
What's your favorite Christmas song, Connor?
Whoa, that's a lot. Okay, so I'm gonna go with two off the top of my head. White Christmas, by that's like one of me and my friends' songs.
Like the one from Home Alone, like
Yeah, yeah.
Dum, dum.
Yep.
All right.
So that would be one, and then Jackson 5, I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus is like one of the greatest songs of all time. I don't care what anyone
Alright.
says. Love that song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are my two. I'm gonna go with those two.
Happy Christmas, War is Over, John Lennon.
Wow. I don't know if I've heard that song. Have I?
So this is
Smith. Oh wait.
Got the chorus in the background?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So what?
You could do
Shout-outs.
favorite Christmas song or shout out,
Shout-out.
whatever
Oh,
you're
okay.
feeling.
I'll start. Last Christmas by Wham. Good song right there. My parents thought that was really funny because my mom grew up
Wham.
listening to that.
I think-
Good song though.
Yeah, it is.
It's probably the only song I'd actually listen to outside of Christmas. You've never heard
I
it?
don't think so.
Last Christmas.
See, I don't know the name of the song, so you gotta
Yeah.
give me a little line.
Okay.
I
Oh,
mean, now that did you call me O?
Or Jacob,
Wow.
sorry.
Wow.
Honestly,
wrong-
now
wrong
that
color.
Connor mentioned the "I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus" song, I think that has to be mine too.
I love that
That
song.
song is so good.
I love that song. It tells a
It's
story.
so good.
Tells a Christmas story, Christmas tale, if you will.
All right. Well, I guess
You guys got shout outs? Personal shout outs?
He did his. We don't
Max?
need to talk about it. Again.
shout out Giannis. Went and saw him the other day, like 2 weeks ago. Love the Bucks. Hoping for another championship run. Shout out Mr. Johnson. Borderline in that class, please help me out here. I don't really know how this exam went, but I know that if I did okay and I didn't get the grade I wanted, I'll be close. So just a little shout out here.
What class is it?
It's physics.
Physics.
Taking up a
27.
lot of my time. I'm not saying anything about that, but it's a hard class and hard things. It's the reward of completing hard things that makes them desirable.
Deep. Honestly, if I could take one thing away from this podcast today, it's Max Menninga, philosopher, future.
He's Socrates.
Yeah, basically
Socrates.
philosopher.
Oh, boy.
And that's
Wow.
you're the philosopher.
Fun
of the
times today. Fun times in the studio,
Okay.
guys.
team. Yeah, big words, big personalities. I love it.
Producer
love it.
Jake, any other
Shout outs?
Shout-outs?
No, I'm good here. I mean,
Yeah,
unless
I
we're gonna make Connor
Last
shout
one?
out.
I have a couple actually. Besides the ones I didn't say, Lily Haynes, shout out Lily Haynes, of course,
Absolutely.
and then I also wanted to shout out the HYBA Warriors, the future HYBA champions.
Yeah, shout out HYBA
Actually,
Celtics.
Yeah, they don't stand a chance. Me and Zach Ott are about to take this league by storm. That's
We'll have
Congratulations,
we'll have
Zach
the
Ott.
best social media. I can promise
Shout
you
out
that.
Zach Ott.
Shout out Zach Ott.
Shout out Zach Ott.
Shout out Zach Ott.
Good shout out.
Augustana, great school,
Yep.
joining Braden Smith, who we have also had on this podcast.
Wow.
So
Big names.
Big
Bring it
names,
back
big
around.
names.
Nice.
But yeah, that'll be it here for me and Jake Cohen. Of course, as always, thank you guys for coming in, and we hope to see you guys next week. If not next week, after Christmas break. See you then.